Hi everyone, welcome back to Visually Hidden Selects. I'm Peter O'Brien, and today I would like to talk to you about A Christmas Story from 1983, directed by Bob Clark and starring Darren McGavin, Melinda Dillon, Peter Billingsley, and Ian Petrella as the Parker family. This film is based on a book written by Jean Shepherd entitled In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash, and it's actually a collection of short stories that were originally published in Playboy magazine in the 1960s. Shepherd worked with the director Bob Clark on the script for over 10 years and even brought in his wife Lee Brown to help just contribute to the overall structure and layout. Because the book is really just a set of different independent stories, the film needed a through line, so they took one story about the pursuit of the Red Ryder BB gun and made that the through line to sprinkle all of these other little vignettes around. Shepherd also provides the narration for this film, which is probably my favorite part of this movie, honestly. It just works so flawlessly in conjunction with the action that you cannot really separate the two. Although he's a narrator telling the story from a separate time and place, it fits so well together within the action of the film and the timing of the action from the characters and their reactions and their responses, especially Peter Billingsley. All of the kids are great in this film, but Peter Billingsley plays young Ralphie, and his performance is really superb and really strong, especially since he is relying mostly on acting and action, because a lot of the dialogue from his character is coming from a remote time and place in the future. Jean Shepherd does also have a small cameo in the film when they go to visit Santa Claus. He is the elder gentleman talking to the boys about where the line begins and where the line ends. The lady next to him is his wife, Lee Brown, who also worked on the screenplay with Shepherd and Bob Clark. The basic premise for the film follows a young boy named Ralphie Parker and his adventures and misadventures throughout the holiday season as he pursues the ultimate Christmas gift: an official Red Ryder carbine-action 200-shot range model air rifle with a compass in the stock and this thing which tells time. Unfortunately, he's always met with the defeatist, you'll shoot your eye out attitude. The director Bob Clark had tried to get this film made for about 10 years, and nobody was interested in this particular story, but in the meantime, he made other films, including the holiday classic Black Christmas, which is a slasher film, and the thing that really got A Christmas Story on the table insofar as being produced was Porky's, a teenage sex comedy that was very successful at the box office, which enabled him to get and secure the financing to make A Christmas Story. So, thank you, Porky's, for giving us A Christmas Story. The script was originally offered to Jack Nicholson for the role of Mr. Parker, aka the Old Man, and he really liked the script, but the studio was not interested in casting Jack Nicholson because it would have doubled the budget just to cover his fee. And in the end, Darren McGavin took on the role, and honestly, I think he's probably a better fit. Not that Jack couldn't have done it, I just think Jack's persona is a little too heavy for this lighthearted film, especially at that time coming off of The Shining. But Melinda Dillon and Darren McGavin are fantastic in this film and 100% believable, not only as a couple, but as a family unit. They have such great chemistry, and their tension is also kind of a highlight in this film. There's one scene in particular where the old man wins a major award, which is this gaudy leg lamp. You may have seen them around your town because it has since become a purchasable item. And from the second it comes out of the box, the mother is opposed to it. And I won't spoil anything for you, but it's just really a lot of fun, the games that they play when it comes to the lamp. This film was shot in both Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and Cleveland, Ohio, which is where the house, the Parker family house, is located. And in 2005, it was actually purchased by a fan, renovated to its original 1983 Christmas Story appearance, and then opened to the public as a tourist attraction in 2006. And you can go there today and check it out. And speaking from a personal experience, it really is pretty neat. The interior of the actual house is nothing like the interior in the film. That was all shot on sound stages in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which is also where the schoolhouse scenes were filmed. They did do some shooting inside the house through the windows just to match up with action across the street, specifically when the old man puts his major award in the window. And the character who walks up to him and talks about it, Swede, is the director Bob Clark. The film is primarily told from the child's point of view, and so a lot of the actors on the screen that he's interacting with are also child actors. And to their credit, they have always remained supportive of this film and its legacy. And they all even came back together for the sequel, A Christmas Story Christmas, which reunited most of the original cast and continued the story of Ralphie and his holiday hijinks. There have also been quite a few sequels to this film, but none of them really stand up to the original, with the exception of A Christmas Story Christmas, because of all of the principal actors coming back to reprise their roles and their connection to the original film and source material. But its strongest legacy and influence is on television at the holidays. The Turner Network, since the 90s, would play this film on a 24-hour marathon, starting on Christmas Eve, going all through Christmas Day. And that kind of became a holiday tradition in and of itself. And that's really where a whole new generation was able to discover this film on television at Christmas time. This movie really doesn't miss a trick when it comes to being a kid and just the way a kid thinks and the way a kid acts and interacts with their environment. Ralphie has a number of daydreams throughout the film that just kind of highlight the story and give us a little bit more insight into the character of Ralphie. Because during those daydream sequences, there is no narration. It's just the character in the moment and the actor, Peter Billingsley, playing the character in the moment. There's a great juxtaposition between Ralphie as a boy and Ralphie as a man that come together in the presentation of this film. It's just overflowing with nostalgia in the way that It's a Wonderful Life also does, but it transcends time because the story has this universal appeal, because everybody was a kid. There's no two ways about it. And so even if you don't celebrate Christmas, there's still humor in this film for you. It's not a very heavy-handed holiday film. It's more so about the time of year and adventures and misadventures of youth, and looking back at that youth through a mature lens. It's fantastic storytelling, and it's really fantastic writing, and it's just very well executed in this film, from a cinematic approach, from a directing approach, from a writing approach, from an editing approach, and from a photographic approach as well. Bob Clark had a very interesting career, and honestly, if he's to be remembered for one film, I think it will forever be A Christmas Story. So that's it for A Christmas Story. I really hope you like this recommendation, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future recommendations. If you do check out A Christmas Story, please leave us a comment and let us know what you think of the film. We will be discussing it at length on the Visually Hidden Selects podcast next week, so be sure to tune into that. Until next time, see ya.